kugadzirawo economy. Multibvisirawo masanction. Moita tipihoka mota tibude maisuzu kana tikawano malambogini. Takudawo mayusa. Pane chizara ipo. Jakuzi watara jakuzi. Jakuzi majakuzi akudiwa. Tapunda Juni ka. Ma iPhone ito. iPhone ma X na mako ufune. Kuya iPhone isati agadziro yeye. Mada varufana kutinzwa varumepo.
Kwini ndikudoka tiketi rekwenda ku Dubai rodzi.
Wana tiketi.
Tsokurodza ipa yes.
Ma US dollar purizi. Sabatinopedza kuroka. Yangu yokuelenzi veseti yapera kadauke pedzisai. Vakati vapedza mancho. Hansa vapedza mancho. Vari kuzvinzwa vari kumepo. Satodi itongoti ati mama US asvike kuma 50,000 anosvika. Nokuti yebozi mabonda asikuita vana. Mayusa.
My people, comrades and friends, welcome to another episode of The Week with me, Comrade Fatso. And it's been a statuesque week. ED unveiled the Nehanda statue, Malaba went back to work like he never left, and we caught up with opposition troublemaker Jacob Ngarivhume. But first, ED finally unveiled the statue of Mbuya Nehanda, and it looks like this. Sorry, my bad. We actually got that. I mean, slightly smaller than what we originally saw in the artist impression, but yeah, still, I know it. I guess size doesn't matter. I mean, it's nothing new with our Hurumende. At least you can see the statue. I mean, unless like 20 people gather around and then Nehanda will just blend into the crowd. Some were asking why there isn't also a statue of Sekuru. Wait, I thought the story was always about Mbuya Nehanda and Sekuru. Huh? Because in all honesty, you can't talk about Mbuya Nehanda without also mentioning Kule Kagui. Unless the Hurumende thinks that he had opposition tendencies and doesn't deserve a statue. Nonetheless, ED launched the multi-million-dollar statue and intersection to a bumper crowd of ZANU-PF supporters. Because COVID only affects the povo and the opposition. If you are a ZANU-PF supporter, you have immunity from COVID. And the ZRP. COVID regulations only apply if your name is Joanna or Hopewell. The Hurumende also ensured that the event had a festive feel as ZANU youths marauded the streets. Such a celebratory mood. I mean, who even needs Harare Carnival when you can have ZANU youthies running amok?
And if they're sure, if you want to play with us, we are ZANU-PF, talk Mamsai, Pasina Chamisa.
Showing that it was truly an event for all Zimbabweans, this young man is welcoming Nelson Chamisa and saying, if you have any problems going to the toilet, we the youths will help you defecate. Such a warm, helpful, welcoming young man. It really was a great day as ED began the day by receiving food aid from South Africa. South African Minister Naledi Pandor handed over 272 tons of maize meal worth 50 million rand for starving Zimbabweans. Thank you, Mzansi. You guys, you truly are Zimbabwe's blesser. ED then showed what the Hurumende's real priorities are during this pandemic as he went to launch the costly statue and then proceeded to give all 270 traditional chiefs brand new Isuzus, one each. At the same time, the Mpilo Hospital cancer machines were breaking down. But cancer machines don't win you elections. No, Isuzus and statues do. Nechibage Chedonation. We caught up this week for an exclusive interview with Transform Zimbabwe leader Jacob Ngarivhume.
My people, comrades and friends, thank you for coming through for a very special interview. We managed to catch up
with a comrade that we always see out there on the streets. He is none other than the opposition party leader of Transform Zimbabwe, Comrade Jacob Ngarivhume. Jacob, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Comrade Fatso. Welcome. Thank you very much, Zimbabwe, for inviting me. I appreciate it.
So, Comrade, my first question, because we've managed to track you down, you seem to be on the streets there, picking litter. So, are you a politician or are you a street cleaner? Because so often we see you out there from a location with your mchairo and you're even getting arrested for picking litter. So, why are you doing these subversive litter protests against our government? Eh?
That's a good one, Comrade Fatso. Chinotitidaro dechekuti, firstly, we realize that we need to be responsible citizens. Mm-hmm. And as the opposition, we have complained about how this country is governed. And we've watched this country go to the doldrums. And what we simply say is, let us come together and stop on raising issues and blaming, but also show that we can do it. So what we are doing actually is to demonstrate what needs to be done on our streets. Brother. So we don't want to see our people live under those conditions. So
we can see, comrade, you died for this marara, you died for this rubbish, eh?
Absolutely.
Okay. So on to another controversial topic, because apart from you picking rubbish, which is very controversial, the other controversial topic, this Mbuya Nehanda statue. What are your thoughts on that?
Firstly, they told me recently, somebody called me and said, Jacob, do you know that you don't need to be picking litter anymore? Why? Because Mbuya will be picking litter every morning across the country, so the nation will be sparkling clean. But whilst I may have no problem with us honoring our heroes, but my problem is the timing of honoring such a hero. If you talk of, I have two problems with the issue of Mbuya Nehanda. Number one, timing yedu, mararaka zari mastris, vana vari kurara nenzara, the nation is crumbling and going down, and then we find time to spend millions of dollars on a statue. That's wrong. For me, that's a no. The number two, we can't introduce Mbuya Nehanda as a subject of worship. Havafani kuva a subject of worship, but she must just be a hero that she is of the first Chimurenga. But now they also want, we saw people worshiping, kneeling down and what have you. Isuzedu, we've got one God who is Jehovah God Almighty. That's all. So those are my 2 points about the statue.
So, Comrade Ngarivhume, is your party Transform Zimbabwe still active? Since you've now joined MDC Alliance, have you decided to give all your support to Nelson Chamisa and quit active politics and just focus on Nyaye Marara?
That's a good question. Firstly, let me say, Transform Zimbabwe is very much active and alive. In fact, we lost our deputy president 2 days ago, Reason Ngwenya, who was stabbed and died in Rwanda. So we're actually going to his funeral. But the party itself, we are very much active. We are rebuilding our structures. We're in the process of strengthening ourselves in preparation of 2023. The decision by the executive of the party to work with other progressive political parties is very welcome. So we simply decided that let's continue working and supporting other progressive forces. And the MDC Alliance, remember, we're part of the MDC Alliance. And we feel that we can work together with the largest opposition in the country to make sure that we build a formidable movement as we go towards 2023.
The infamous date of 31 July. It's around the corner now, next week. So 31 July is around the corner. So what's the plan for this year? Are we planning a bit of Jambanja, or is Job Sikala planning just to go and hide in the bush again? What are the plans, Comrade? Tell us. Tell us.
So we are saying we still have unfinished business. The issues that we raised around the 31st of July 2020 are still with us. So the issues of corruption, bad governance, and we are protected by the Constitution of Zimbabwe, Section 59 to be specific, from Section 59 through to Section 61. They give us the right to protest. as citizens. And so we are saying this year again, we will have a series of peaceful demonstrations run up to the 31st, so that our issues around corruption are addressed. If they are not, we have no reason to keep quiet about the issues that we've been raising. So we are preparing for some more demonstrations, and all our call for demonstrations are peaceful, very peaceful ones. And if it lands us again in prison, so be it. But we say the issues haven't changed, so we are going back into the streets.
So, Comrade Jacob, we're now moving on to the multiple choice section. Okay, these are going to be multiple choice questions like with ZJC. You can say either this or that one or neither. All right, so we're going to get straight into it. Food aid or an Isuzu?
Neither.
A statue or a helicopter?
Neither.
Douglas Monzora or Pupurai Tukaripi?
Neithest.
Well, you may have passed this test politically, but I think ZJC would have failed you. But politically, you might have passed. So, onto a serious question, Jacob. How was it when you spent time at our very own 5-star hotel resort for the opposition, aka Chiburubi? How was your stay there? Was it everything you hoped it would be?
Honestly, I think I found a lot of time to reflect on what we need to do as a country and as an individual to add value to our nation, which was good. I also made a lot of friends. I met many people there whom I'm still relating with. You know, some of them have since left the place as well. And let me say also one of my biggest compatriots and friends, Hopewell, we met there and now we are buddies. But the stay was horrible. You know, what we went through to see the struggles that the prisoners go through every day and what struggles we also went through. We realized that in this country, prisoners have got no rights at all. And it's a huge area that we again need to fight for, the rights of prisoners, because you are literally taken as nothing because you absolutely have no right. It's very pathetic.
Okay, so that brings me on to maybe my final question, Jacob. It's a hypothetical question. If you had to go back to Chiburubi and you had to choose a cellmate, which of these two would you choose to share your cell with and why? Luke Malaba, the former Chief Justice who still thinks he's Chief Justice, or the current Minister of Justice, Ziyambi?
Without thinking, I would go for Luke Malaba so that he gets a good experience of what it is. I think they have no appreciation of practical justice. I think their justice is very theoretic. They haven't seen and visited any of the facilities that they condemn and send people to. They haven't followed through to see how people are living. So I think I would appreciate that he comes there so that they think very carefully when the judicial, I personally believe that, you know, our justice system is compromised in this country. And they need to come there and see for themselves what they need to do. The Judicial Service Commission needs to do a lot to improve the prisons and so on. And they can put pressure on the Ministry of Justice to make sure that they deal with those things. But otherwise, as things stand, none of them have been there. They know that they are protected by the patronage of the system and the regime. So they know that they are unlikely to be there as long as the regime is in power. That's why they protect it. So if they get an opportunity to be there in those cells, for him to live for 17 hours without a toilet, for him to live in that place without water, running water, for him to live there without any protection from COVID, that would be beautiful. I would smile actually to look at him as he goes through that.
Well, with those very kind, hopeful words of yours, Jacob, it brings us to the end of the interview. But thanks so much for joining us and giving us a bit of your time.
Welcome. Thanks, Comrade Fatso. Thanks for the program that you do. I watch it. I'm laughing half the time and enjoying it. So I'm not sure whether I'm gonna be able to laugh and like I do when I watch mine.
I'm sure you will, boss. You'll be able to laugh at it, Baba. Don't worry. Good luck with the rest of your cleanup.
Thanks a lot.
In another twist to the Mugabe Burial saga, Chief Zvimba ordered the exhumation and reburial of the former president. The traditional court gave Grace Mugabe up to the 1st of July to ensure that Bob is reburied ku Hirozeka. This is what we call by fire, by force, mind you. And just for good measure, Grace was fined 5 cows and a goat. All this because Edie allegedly wants a trimbo. Constitutional expert Professor Lovemore Maduku said it clearly appears that the traditional court has gone outside its jurisdiction. For example, the whole point of exhuming a body is not governed by customary law in Zimbabwe. Then again, this is Zimbabwe. Saga regatuone. Guess who went back to work this week? Former Chief Justice Luke Handiende Malaba rocked up to graft and was like, "I'm back, bitches!" Yes, the judge who was ordered to retire by a court ruling was like, "Rule of law for what? And for who?" The embattled Malaba started reporting for duty on Monday, embracing the spirit of business as usual. Judicial Service Commission Secretary Walter Chikwana explained that Malaba has always been at work since the day the government noted an appeal in the Supreme Court against the order of the High Court. However, human rights activist Musa Kika has filed an urgent High Court application seeking the arrest and jailing of Malaba in Chikurubi. Yeah! Kika has said in court that the Commission and the Justice Minister, Ziyambi Squared, were mistaken. Malaba's birthday shenanigans continue and our constitution continues to suffer.
akudzei kuti pana baba nemba ndiani tongoti tichipfuurawo neparodhi tikangoonawo pane imba isina maketeni kana ari kuwacho inda musingagoni kutauremi situation yatiri tiri kutongopfuura tiri kutsvaga pekutongoisa musoro ko mambobva kupi kwemi hospital unoita basa rei uri madhokta madhokta chaiwo zvino manje madhokta angagare pamba pangu pakadai so ko chicha kunze panapa tiwanirawo karumu zvako yekungoisa musoro nokuti imi zvandinoziva makore atikakura ka madhokta vanga vane zvese dzimba motikari munozoti madhokta vaisa taura nevanhu vaisamhoresa vanhu vanga vane ganda soka raita kupenya ganda remari kwete ganda rinopenya nevha seriniri ganda ramunarei ndiri zvatonyatsonishamisa zvezvo aiwa mutoonaka zvatitiori izvozvo zvira tatosvika kuhospital yatsva dzimba dzatsva zvatitori zvino zvatitori nazvo shemu ndochiutsi chandaona atitomborina pekutangira ndanyatsoti kuri kutsva aiwa ndachiona chiutsi chii kunhuku kuri kutsva kumpilo zvese ende zviri kusiririsa tsitsi vasikana mota pamapipi enyu akaenda makatizwa mota pamuna zvekushandisa vasikana munoshanda nezvinhu zvakashota mota apa motsvirwa moita nhamongani nemadzidzira maketa zvinosiririsa zvino juti munorigonemi pano panoitwa juti kakuite machozi vasikana munozvigonemi zvino mazodzoka kamaita madhokta kana even mari yerent dai mamusinotaura kuti muri madhokta ndakutongoita kuti zvingoita munozondipa manaka nokuti mwamusi munondirapa kanheye vasikana.
In other news, a Gukurahundi memorial plaque erected this week in Matabeleland South in memory of the victims of the genocide has reportedly been stolen. Ibechu Likazulu, a local pressure group, held a memorial at Balagwe, which bore the brunt of 5th Brigade operations in the 80s that murdered thousands of civilians. And now the plaque has gone missing due to suspected state agents. These guys have no shame. Thanks for joining us on the week. Follow Magamba TV on social media. I've been Comrade Fatso. You have been the people. This has been the week. Thank you. Give me a nice Suzu and you, Footsec.